us through that, I have Dr. Natalie Marshall. She is the founder and owner of Vitalize Physical Therapy. She's also a member of my women's group, Successful Women Made Here. And it is her life's mission to help active women live, work, and play without pain or embarrassment. But in this episode, as I mentioned, we're talking about how to reduce stress. And you have your dog Hadley there with you. A great way, first of all, to reduce stress.
Yeah.
Hi, Hadley.
Hi.
Yeah. See if she looks up. Oh, look at her. Oh, I feel the stress just going out of me just even looking at her.
You're going to reduce stress. You just snuggle your animals.
There you go. Definitely. But we have 3 tips in this episode too, to talk about ways that you're going to help people cope and stress during this difficult time. Because even before all this, there are a number of us who work through everyday anxiety and stress in our lives, but especially now with COVID-19 and also with our new normal of coming out of this and what that looks like. What's one of the first tips you do have for people to handle this added stress?
One of my favorite things to do, especially right now as the weather's getting nicer, is to go out without your shoes and socks on and just stand in the grass, walk around. I like to even lay in the grass. It's called grounding, and it gets you really reconnected to the earth, and it just instantly helps reduce stress levels, as well as that wonderful sunshine too. Vitamin D is great for us. It's great to boost our immune systems and help us sleep better. So that's my first favorite tip. It's easy to do with the kids. It's easy to do by yourself if you need a minute outside. So that's
how much time outside do we need and should have as far as number of sunlight hours or minutes daily to really get more immunity toward things or just even feeling better mentally?
In terms of vitamin D, it's really great to get 15 to 20 minutes of pure sunshine. Just sitting there basking in the sun is perfect. Mm-hmm. If you can get more, though, it doesn't hurt. It's great if you can get even a few hours a day outside.
Probably just definitely wearing sunblock as we get more into warmer weather and stronger sunshine.
Right. They do recommend for pure vitamin D absorption to not wear sunscreen for the first 10 to 15 minutes, though.
Oh, that's a great point. Okay, yeah. Good. And I love the analogy of just letting your toes feel the grass or the sand, whatever that may be for you, right? And then as you mentioned laying there in the grass, is it almost like we should be working toward meditation, or is it just merely just take in the moment?
Yeah, that's a great point. So you can do meditation. You can just take in the moment. My second tip is diaphragmatic breathing. So that's a great time to actually do this type of breathing when you're laying in the grass. So I really encourage people to be in a comfy spot. And for a lot of people, that is in the grass. So relaxing your legs, relaxing your hands. Sometimes it is helpful to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. A lot of us become stress chest breathers over time. And the reason is we hold a lot of tension and we forget to breathe with our diaphragms. And so if you remember back when you saw your little babies breathing for the first time through their bellies, their little bellies they're breathing, it's before they have any stress in their lives. And so diaphragmatic breathing takes us back to that neonatal state. So it really helps decrease tension, stress, anxiety. It also helps reduce intra-abdominal pressure, which can create digestive issues, and it can create back pain and all sorts of other pelvic pressures that we want to improve. So if you take one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly, and you inhale through your nose, let your belly rise, let your rib cage expand and descend down. And then exhale, everything comes back to neutral. So in through the nose, the belly should rise about 6 to 8 seconds. The pelvic floor descends down as you're inhaling. Exhale, everything comes back to neutral. So if you do your inhales for about 6 to 8 seconds and you exhale about 6 to 8 seconds, and you do that about 6 times, You can do it a few times throughout the day. I like to encourage people to do it before they get out of bed in the morning and before they go to sleep at night. It just really helps to set you up for the day, to just be as optimistic and stress-free as possible. And then it helps to wind down at the end of the night as well.
So that's interesting when you brought that up about babies. So as infants, we were breathing more like that before we realized that it seems like we're just more shallow just in our lungs, or
Exactly.
without not necessarily through our nose.
Yeah. So infants breathe just automatically typically through their diaphragm. So you see their little bellies inhaling and exhaling. And then when you start to watch people around you breathing, a lot of times you don't see their bellies move, partly because of Spanx, right? and tight bras.
Or tight pants, even tight pants, especially these days, right? Or, well, actually more people I think are wearing sweatpants these days. So now we can definitely work on this more.
Exactly. So letting your belly hang and letting yourself breathe into your belly is so, so important.
Okay, great. And then what's the third tip?
So the third tip is actually foam rolling. So in part, it helps you breathe better when you have better rib expansion through your thoracic spine. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to foam roll. So I'm just going to move my chair over here.
Okay. And that's a great point that it seems like a lot more people are exercising from home. So hopefully you have a foam roller, or if not, to get that one ordered off of Amazon or Target or some store. But and do you prefer one being that big? You prefer that size?
It's a 6-inch diameter by 36 inches long.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's see what you do with that.
Yeah, so one of my favorite things is to cradle your neck and then pull your elbows in, and then you lift your bottom up, and then you can roll, and you can do little sections at a time. You can drop down and extend over it as well. And you can go clear up your spine to the bottom part of your neck, to like the T1, where your neck and your mid-back meet. And then the other one is to lie on it vertically. So that was horizontal.
Right. Actually, before you go to the second one, what does that do? The first method, what does that do for us as far as relieving stress?
Yeah, good question. So it helps to decrease a lot of the tension, and as we're sitting a lot more too, we're forward. We bend forward about 2,000 to 3,000 times a day, full range of motion, and only backwards about 700 to 800 times a day, partial range of motion. So it's important to get more spinal balance. That helps open up your spine. It even has been shown in studies to reduce stress because it helps prepare them.
Okay, great. All right, I'll let you get to step number 2.
Okay, perfect. So you just sit on the bottom of one end of the foam roller, and then you help yourself get down, and then you open up your arms, and you can do snow angels. And if it feels, I'm going to sit up so you can see me. If it feels sticky at any part of that, you can just let your arms hang and hold there to stretch out your pec muscles in the front. That helps to open up your spine as well.
That's a great point to bring up. Someone had mentioned to me the other day to take our arms from this position, our hands, but do it behind you. And I didn't realize how it was really hard for me to keep my fingers pressed upward. And that was showing that I was so tight in here. So do you think that's also from us being at our computer now a lot more hours, that somehow we're probably coming around more like that? Yeah.
Yeah. And if you just think about everything that we do forward, we're at the kitchen, sink, or doing laundry, kids.
Yeah, you're right. Everything's more this way and hunching over, and to keep maybe straight posture while you sit and type.
Yes. Yeah. Or just taking a foam roll break to open up too. That's great.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's very simple, easy to do in your own home. Do you recommend those inversion chairs, tables, to the long ones you stand along and then you flip them?
Yeah, it's a good question. If it helps somebody, then great. If you do have ocular eye pressure issues, they're not recommended. And if you have heart issues, any cardiac issues, they're not recommended. But if it helps you feel better and it decreases disc pressure and you feel less pain during it and after, it can't hurt. So
yeah, great. Well, Dr. Natalie Marshall, thank you so much. And how do people reach out to you if they'd like to do telehealth or see you in person if they're in the Indiana area?
yeah, sure. You can find us on the web at www.vitalize.com. You can also email us at info@vitalizeindy.com.
Well, thanks, Dr. Natalie, for those 3 great tips. They're easy to do anywhere in our home, outside. I'm going to go put my toes through the grass now. And we'll make
sure. Sound fun?
It does. And we'll have her links in the comments in the section there on YouTube and Facebook, as well as if you'd like to become a virtual member of Successful Women Made Here, you can also join us no matter where you live in the world. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.